Member Lofald?
Here.
I am here. Member Sadowski?
Here.
Member Williams?
There she is.
Oh, look at that. Superintendent Magus?
Here.
Assistant Superintendent Bonds? Present. Board Secretary Paquette? Here. And Representative Taylor?
Here.
Student Representative Dean? And Student Representative Garner is excused.
Thank you, Clerk. So I will have you go ahead and read the listening guidelines, please.
Sure, welcome everyone. Some information that you should know when you sign up to speak at our listening session. If you have handouts for the board, please give them to Board Secretary Paquette. Persons addressing the board will have a total of 3 minutes. When speaking, the use of negative, personally identifiable language is not permitted. Persons addressing the board may not merge their time in order to allow one person to speak more than 3 minutes. The clerk of the board, that's me, will start the stoplight timer, which is located here. At the start of your time, green means go, yellow means wrap up, red means stop. If the red light comes on while you're still speaking, Chair Eater will gavel to signal you to end. And in the interest of respect for every listening session speaker, please hold any commentary during the speaker's time until they are finished. Thank you.
Thank you. Member Lofald, will you talk about our 11 tools of civility?
So we have these 11 tools of civility that we have adopted since before I was on the school board, and they've been our guiding practice for a number of years. We first start out with our mission in the Duluth Public Schools. Every student, every day, will be empowered with learning opportunities for growth, creativity, and curiosity, and in preparation for their future goals in a global community. We also have a vision of how we're going to get there. Duluth Public Schools provides an academically engaging, safe, and inclusive environment with high expectations and responsible use of our resources. We also have core values of learning, excellence, equity, collaboration, and belonging. And then to couple that with is how we live out those mission and vision and values is with our civility tools. And so we've committed, the school board recognizes 11 tools of civility that will provide increased opportunities for civil discourse in order to find positive resolutions to the issues that face our community. So these tools include pay attention, listen, be inclusive, don't gossip, show respect, be agreeable, apologize, give constructive criticism, take responsibility, be honest and care for others, and show your evidence and share your reasonings. So we welcome you tonight. Thank you.
We do. The Duluth Public School Board and members of our administration welcome you all. We're glad you're here to share your thoughts with us. And so we will begin by inviting Mr. Ethan Fisher to up front to share his thoughts. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Ethan Fisher. I am a 30-year employee of Duluth Public Schools, a 1991 graduate of Denfeld High School. My 3 kids attended Piedmont Elementary and are now at Lincoln Park Middle School. Currently, I am the president of the Duluth Federation of Teachers and have the distinct privilege of representing the more than 800 teachers that do the work of educating our children, of my children. In my tenure with Duluth Public Schools, I've been through far too many budget reductions. This is not a fun time of year. What strikes me differently about the budget shortfall for next year, however, is both the process and the outcome of determining where the cuts will be. In the past, a heavy emphasis was placed on the labor management process to both discuss and propose reductions. District leadership would bring cost savings ideas to the table for discussion, and then input would be given by those involved. While there was considerable emphasis this year on having a special budget reduction labor management team, absolutely nothing that was brought forward for discussion by the educators involved was listened to. Now, at this time, I fully expect the superintendent to be typing away on the empty slides of his presentation to the board to try and counteract what I'm saying. But there were more than 40 teachers that were part of those meetings that will corroborate what I'm telling you. I feel our labor management process has actually taken a step backwards. How can we, in a time when literacy is the centerpiece to not only our district goal, but to many of our 19 site goals as well, cut media specialists? Not only do students rely on their media centers to be staffed by licensed professionals every day, but our teachers do as well. How can we, in a day and age when this administration continually emphasizes the priority of not breaking contracts, decide to unilaterally move activity directors into a different bargaining unit? Despite multiple references to ADs in our contract, that's right, it's our contract, signed by the chairperson of this board, the work has belonged to our bargaining unit for more than 35 years. This goes beyond managerial right. Shame on you, you can do better. How can we in good conscience switch to a 7-period day at both the middle and high schools under the guise of more opportunities for students, only to mandate new courses that have a negative impact on music, foreign language, and electives? This is disingenuous to the students and parents that ask for more options in the strategic plan. We should be seeing growth in programs like music, but instead budget cuts will have devastating impacts. I really ask that you take time as a school board to stand up to this administration and ask questions about what is being done. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fisher. We call Lily Fadziewicz. And Lily, I know that I didn't do your last name justice, so if you could introduce yourself, I'd really appreciate that.
There you go.
Sorry.
No problem. We'll start over.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Lily Fadziewicz. I am a library cadet at the Duluth East Library, and I've come to talk about the importance of library in our schools and the services it provides for students every day. I've assisted the library for 3 semesters, starting last year when I sat up at the desk with Mrs. Knettel during my first hour study hall. From the position, I grew an appreciation for the work that she does and the school and wanted to get more involved. So when I had an open period this school year, I approached her about being a cadet. Through being a cadet, I've helped Mrs. Knettel accomplish many projects in the library. This year, Mrs. Knettel arranged for us to get new shelves for previously empty walls, and I helped her organize the shelves and shelve a huge number of class sets for ease of access for students and teachers, getting them off broken rolling carts that they had been on previously. We also got in 325 new books for students. Mrs. Knettel purposefully selected each book based on students' interests and needs of the library. To make room for these books, I helped her move and condense 20 shelves worth of books. Dusting and cleaning shelves had not been touched in years. Then, none of these projects would have been possible without library cadets. And library cadets are not possible without full-time librarians. This year, the library got 7 pallets of textbooks. Next year, we are likely to get the same amount. That is an unmanageable number of books for a part-time librarian to take on. Never mind take on for 2 high schools. The library is not empty. In fact, it's a bustling and crucial space for students. The library provides access to not just books, but crucial student resources. It's home to Chromebook and tech assistants, the ESL teacher, computer classes, and sub-alt. Not to mention the students who come in, work on group projects, receive tutoring, or take tests in a quiet space as required by their 504s. On average, there are 75 students in the library in the morning before the bell rings and 25 students making use of it during lunch. The library is a safe space for students, and it provides a crucial quiet space from the roar of lunchroom and chaos of sub-alt. Mrs. Knettel is a treasured resource to students, with kids often coming just to chat with her and leaving with a book in hand. Mrs. Knettel is a teacher. She works with our English department to pull books that will interest students for projects and teaches a class to our 10th graders on how to do research and use databases. She shows students how to use a library catalog, finds trustworthy information, and practice the ever-important skill of media literacy. All of these teaching roles I mentioned are impossible without a full-time librarian. This year, she launched a new program called Winter Reading, incentivizing students to read. The program hasn't ended yet, but we've had exactly 100 students sign up. 100 high schoolers signed up to read books. In an age where the number of students reading has plummeted, it's an achievement that shows how valuable access to our library is. Every student I've talked to, from reader to non-reader, about the cut of library next year has been outraged.
Lily, your 3 minutes is up. Can you just wrap, please?
Yes, and have been outraged. So I'm pleading with you to make library open full-time. For the students it's helped, and for the students it will help in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Lily. Next, we invite Frances Wittenberg to the mic.
Thank you. Dear members of the school board and superintendents, my name is Frances Wittenberg. I'm a change agent in our Duluth community, a retired Air Force veteran, and the proud mother of 3 amazing children. 2 of them are currently enrolled in ISD 709. One of them, my son, has been playing football for East High School for the past 4 years. During that time, I've also had the privilege of being involved with the East Touchdown Club, a nonprofit dedicated to supporting our East football program. I'm here to advocate for the retention of the current Dean of Students at East High School, who not only serves in this critical administrative capacity, but also selflessly dedicates significant time and effort to coaching football athletes. The role of the Dean of Students is essential to the academic success and safety of our students, and the contributions of this individual extend far beyond the office, making a profound and positive impact on the lives of our student athletes. The current Dean of Students is a proven leader, demonstrating a deep commitment to fostering a safe and supportive environment for all students. As the assistant head coach, this individual provides invaluable mentorship and guidance, helping student athletes develop both academically and personally. Their involvement in coaching is not just an extracurricular duty, but an extension of their dedication to the holistic development of students, supporting not only their academic success, but also their physical well-being and character development. Displacing someone who has shown such dedication to both student safety and athletic development could disrupt the positive impact they have on the school community. Rather than focusing on displacing this individual, I urge the board to recognize the unique and invaluable contributions this brings to our students' lives, both in the classroom and on the field. Thank you for considering this important matter, and I trust that the board will prioritize the continued support of students' academic and personal growth by retaining this exceptional leader. Thank you.
Thank you, Frances. We now call Molly McNamee. Thank you. There was an accident with that. Thank you, Molly.
Good afternoon. If you're here in support of library media specialists, I'll invite you to stand. My name is Molly. I'm a senior at Duluth East High School, and today I'm speaking on behalf of the library and media specialists in the district. I've been a student in this district for 13 years, and 2 weeks ago I was informed that the district was moving forward with a plan to decrease our secondary library and media specialist staff by 50%. My immediate feeling was confusion. We've done this before and it did not work. I experienced time in my district with a partially staffed library. There were days when I needed a book or to use the printer or to have a quiet place to study, and it was simply unavailable. I observed stress placed on staff and students alike as they navigated the scheduling of understaffed and unsupported media facilities. You may make a library available part-time, but you cannot reduce a school's full-time need for its resources. Not to mention, our library and media centers hold opportunities of incredible privilege. There is extensive time and money that goes into providing books, textbooks, computers, and furniture for these spaces, and it is frankly wasteful to place such a limit on these resources. We have a responsibility to utilize them. In the past couple of years at East with a full-time librarian, I utilize my library and media center nearly every day, especially as a student who makes use of a 504 plan in her day-to-day academic endeavors and requires quiet spaces. I know and care about my school's librarian, as I know so many other students do. She's cultivated a warm and welcoming environment, and I can say with confidence that she is an integral part of Duluth East community. As an involved member of my community, a member of Duluth East Student Government, and a member of Duluth East Climate Club, I'm well aware of the district's budget crisis. However, it is my understanding that the district intends to handle all funding predicaments in a manner that has the least negative impact on students' learning. I assure you, this change yields negative results. The nature of our education system means we are constantly fighting a monetary battle. I have to wonder if the way we are fighting is still effective if it isn't prioritizing the spaces and people that benefit our students the most. If you're looking for proof that people care about this resource, it's standing in front of you, and I fully believe that this administration is capable of devising creative solutions for the problems we are facing, solutions that reflect our values and don't harm our students and our staff. Thank you.
Thank you, Molly. We call next David Clark.
Good evening, members of the board, staff, and community. Today, I do not stand here to ask for my job back. Instead, I ask a much bigger question. Who will keep their doors open for our male students at Duluth East High School? My name is David Clark, and I'm an advocate for the students at Duluth East High School and an assistant head football coach. This year, I've been displaced from the role of Dean of Students, a decision that affects more than just my position. It impacts the support systems we have in place for our students, and especially our young men who walk the halls at our high school. Students need role models in their lives. Coaches, teachers, parents, and community members all play a part in shaping their futures. But within our school walls, many of our male students lack a male role model that have an open door. Our counseling team, MTSS coordinators, Check and Connect mentors, who all go above and beyond each and every day, who all have an open door policy, are all female. With this, by no means am I saying a female cannot create change for a male student by any means, but sometimes it's easier for a young male to open up to someone who has walked a similar path in life. We see this every day in the world around us. When people visit a doctor's office, many prefer to see a provider of the same gender for privacy and comfort. The same can be said for many of our students, especially our male students seeking comfort within the school walls. I realized this, especially when we had our counselor last year, Dave Bergen, be displaced to Denfeld. The impact of his absence was immediate and undeniable. What Mr. Bergen did for so many of our male students is what I strive to do each and every day. Listen and give the kids a voice. Well, I didn't anticipate this school year when Mr. Bergen left that my office and title would change within the school walls. Originally, my job focused on behaviors and attendance school-wide. This current year, it added the title of a counselor as well for many of our students who sought guidance, support, and someone to listen. I did not ask for this to happen, nor did I fully prepare for this year, but I continue to strive to make the change happen each and every day. So my question is simply, what is the plan that you guys have? How does this board intend to ensure that our male students continue to have a place to go when they need help, when they need advice, and when they need someone to listen? Because in the last 2 years, the only 2 male figures that have had an open door policy have been removed from the school. I am not here to complain by any means. I'm here to advocate because this isn't about me, it's about them. I have sat with students who are struggling with family issues, personal doubt, and decisions that could shape the rest of their lives. I have seen firsthand how powerful it is to have a male mentor, as I have many myself, someone that they can walk alongside with, that can keep the doors open for them, that can have endless appointments without hesitation, fear, or judgment. This is not about me, it's about them. Our students deserve a school where they feel seen, heard, supported. So I ask again, what is your plan? Because closing one door without opening another leaves so many young men without a place to turn. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clark. Betty Green, please step forward. And I would just ask that we do make sure that we leave names out of our comment, please. Thank you.
Good evening, Superintendent Magus, Assistant Superintendent Bonds, Chair Dirk Eder, and members of the school board. My name is Betty Green, and I'm speaking about the new violence prevention policy that was first heard. It had its first reading on February 11th. I'm concerned about unintended consequences, especially for students with disabilities and other underrepresented students, even though the purpose of the policy states that students are the first priority and they should be protected from both physical and emotional harm. I will send you a follow-up email with some suggestions for changes to consider as you have the second reading in March. I encourage administrators to incorporate changes when it is presented again on March 13th, and I encourage all school board members to take a close look at the proposed policy language and my suggestions before that meeting as well. Thank you. I also want you to know that I submitted a written letter of testimony in support of Senate File 1594 to the Senate Education Finance Committee for tomorrow's hearing. That bill increases ISD 709's base special education appropriation by $500,000 each year to make up for the erroneous base number in the past.
Thank you, Betty. I call Taven Roth forward, please.
Good evening, board members. My name is Taven Roth, and I'm a senior at Duluth East. I'm here tonight to speak on the potential reduction of our media specialists by half of its current staffing. I'll start by introducing myself. I'm co-president of Duluth East Student Government and have participated in National History Day for 6 years now. I mention this for how the library has supported my extracurricular pursuits. I'm going to begin by highlighting ways I've seen the library support students. The library gives students access to books for academic enrichment outside of their classes. Students utilize the book checkout as a more accessible option for finding books to read. A student's ability to access books at any time in their school day and any time in their school week only enriches their academic experience. Students currently enjoy the benefits of having the library open at all times. It creates book accessibility, compared to signing up for a public library account or purchasing a book. At East, we currently have 100 students signed up for the Winter Reading Challenge, which entails the reading of 4 books for the opportunity to receive prizes, incentivizing further reading outside of school and the development of students academically. The library also holds a crucial part of the community in the school. It acts as a space where students can coalesce and bond over their academics, clubs, or just hang out with friends outside of their classes. Many students prepare for their school day in the library, as it is a quiet space allowing for study. At East, the very architecture emphasizes this point. It is in the direct center of the school, and its spacious design with many windows makes it a space designed for students to come together. With the addition of full-time library access in these past 2 years, Ms. Knettel frequently updates window displays and makes the library an inviting space. This is a direct cause to the increased use in the library. As I mentioned previously, I've been an active member in History Day Club, where I've placed orders through the East Library to receive research material. Through the library and supporting university loan programs, students have the opportunity to receive research materials from libraries throughout the Midwest. Without the support available in the library, I would not have been able to succeed in History Day, where I've placed at the state tournament each year and have qualified for nationals once. It is because of the library staff that students like myself have been able to achieve high placements at both the state and national level. The support available through the library has been crucial for our club's members' success. The recent decision to cut media staff to half of its current functioning is a deliberate stray from the district's foundation, literacy. By choosing to reduce the hours of the library, students and teachers will feel the harmful effects of the loss of the backbone to the school. I've experienced what you are proposing, and it is only a barrier to students and their ability to access essential materials such as textbooks, required reading books, and a printer. For example, if a student were to miss a checkout day for a required book, they would be set back numerous days from the library's closure. By reducing media center staff and cutting the school newspaper, the district is making clear its stance on media literacy, which will degrade in the absence of these programs. The ripples of these regressions will be felt by both students and teachers alike. So please, I ask the board to consider other options in navigating the budget reduction. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Thank you, Tavin, and I call Heidi Johnson, who knows a little something about libraries.
Hello, my name is Heidi Johnson, and I have lived in Duluth since 2003 and have had children educated in Duluth Public Schools since 2009. I currently have a junior at Denfeld High School. First of all, I wish to express my gratitude for all the teachers and staff and you school board members for all you do to support our students. I also wish to share my concern with the budget as you face a significant budget reduction for next year and all the challenges and decisions that come with that. That said, I wish to convey my support for all the media specialists of this district, as it is my understanding that they are being considered as part of the reduction efforts. First of all, according to this district's 2024 Comprehensive Achievement and Civic Readiness Plan, one goal is to close the achievement gap in reading and raise all rates to 64%. As some schools are currently at 18% and 34%, this will be a challenge. According to the article, Why School Librarians Matter, What Years of Research Tell Us, quote, data from more than 34 statewide studies suggests that students tend to earn better standardized test scores in schools that have strong library programs. Improving the graduation rate to 90%, while some student groups have almost less than half that, is another challenge. Again, research supports that, quote, newer studies conducted over the last several years show that strong school libraries are also linked to other important factors of student success, including graduation rates. In fact, when looking at all 5 goals from the Minnesota statute, 4 of the 5 pertain especially to high school, and all can be positively impacted by media specialists, including closing racial and economic achievement gaps, preparing all students for career in college, ensuring they graduate and are lifelong learners. Yet again, according to the article, quote, since 1992, a growing body of research known as the School Library Impact Studies has consistently shown positive correlations between high-quality library programs and student achievement. And in fact, they have often found that the benefits with good library programs are strongest for the most vulnerable and at-risk learners, including students of color and low-income students, unquote. That said, against this body of evidence, there are districts who have chosen to lose their school librarians with the predominant reason being budget constraints. However, a study done in 2024 saw an equal number of districts increasing and decreasing their librarians, with those increasing citing the reasons being leaders such as yourselves, valuing the expertise and support librarians give, and acknowledging how they can support the district's priorities and goals. Finally, as a parent and college librarian, I see the difference a staffed and strong media center and library can make towards a supportive learning climate and the impact media specialists have on scholarship. So while difficult decisions need to be made in order to address this budget deficit, if the district wishes to work toward its goals for student success, the priority should be to maintain those who can help achieve them, which research data shows include having a strong school library program that can only exist when having full-time media specialists in the schools. I urge you to consider to maintain the current staffing levels for media specialists in our district. Thank you.
Thank you, Heidi. I call Willow Susans to the microphone, please.
Good evening, school board members and listeners. My name is Willow Susans, and I'm a freshman at Duluth East. I can tell you without a doubt that the media center schedule you are proposing may be beneficial for you in the budget, but it will be extremely detrimental to the students and staff at Duluth East and Denfeld. A majority of the student population uses the media center at East every single day. The students utilize the resources the media center offers, and it is a major part of our school climate. If you need a quiet place to read, study, or do homework, you have the media center. If you need a printer to use, you have the media center. If you need tech help or tutoring, you have the media center. So I ask you, what are students supposed to do without these resources? Where are we supposed to go on days of the week where the library isn't open? And what are the students at the other high school, Denfeld, supposed to do on the days of the week where their library isn't open? We, the students, understand that budget cuts are a complex matter, but we need you to understand that this is not the solution. This would be removing used and needed resources from our building and students. You may be also removing a beloved staff member, Ms. Knettel, from our school. With that being said, I hope my words and everything else everyone has said tonight stay in your mind and cause you to reconsider what you are proposing. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Willow. And again, I would just ask that you substitute names with positions, please. Moving on to Cindy Miller, please.
Thank you for this opportunity to speak. My name is Cindy Miller, and I'm a media specialist in the district and the content specialist for library media technology. Our administration is recommending cuts to our library media programs in our secondary schools, and I'm here to convince you otherwise. The document in front of you is from MDE and outlines the scope of practice and responsibilities of library media specialists. I'd like to highlight some of the things that are on this document and tie them to our district's vision, mission, and strategic plan, which I wrote with many of you. Media specialists have 5 responsibilities in Minnesota schools. The first is as a teacher, with bullet points on this document that state a media specialist should establish and maintain a learning environment in the media center. Our school district's mission states every student every day will be empowered with learning opportunities for growth, creativity, and curiosity in preparation for their future in a global community. That happens for every student every day in our school libraries. One of our core values determined by our strategic plan is to provide a welcoming and accessible environment where everyone feels safe, seen, and heard. That belonging in a safe space is necessary for our students and found in our library media centers for every student every day. MDE says media specialists should teach responsible and ethical access to and use of information, develop information and technology literacy curriculum, and guide students in locating, processing, and critically evaluating and communicating information. Library media specialists in Duluth do this every day for every student. The second responsibility of a media specialist is that of an instructional partner. The state expects library media specialists to develop a collection of materials based on the curriculum and learner needs. Does this happen in front of staff or students? No, but I can tell you that it needs to happen, and students and staff notice when materials are out of date or unavailable. Currently, as of today, we have 15,822 print books and textbooks checked out from Duluth Public School libraries, and many more digital materials like audiobooks and ebooks borrowed from library partners. Our interlibrary loans just within the district are always increasing, making more materials available across our schools to meet student needs. Also, MDE expects library media specialists to formulate and conduct student learning activities that integrate the use of information and technology tools. I'll draw your memory back to the strategic plan that states that one of our core values is collaboration, working in partnership with staff, students, and community. Our library media specialists collaborate with content teachers to conduct learning activities using tools within and outside the district like eLibrary Minnesota research tools available through connections with the Arrowhead Library Services and Minnesota Library Association. Our library media specialists work in partnership with staff, students, and community every day. The other 3 responsibilities outlined by the state are the role of information specialist, district leader, and program administrator. I will wrap up. These are turbulent times and confusing times for our state and our country. Fake news, AI, cybersecurity, and media literacy have never been more important topics. I agree we need more professional development in these areas, but with that, library media specialists can work as information specialists and leaders in our districts. We can meet the increasing needs of our students, every student, every day.
Thank you, Cindy. We now invite Catherine Disterhoft forward, please.
So I'm Catherine Disterhoft. I spoke last month about the negative effects of the emotional and social well-being and academic regarding the splitting of the Spanish immersion program. What she's handing out is 3 resolutions I'd like the school board to consider. The first one goes into basically keeping the current students together at Lowell, since the school's already made for that. The second one's a little bit less, where it's not reducing the numbers, or it's still sending some to Myers-Wilkins, but keeping the majority at Lowell. And the third one is giving a parent a choice. And that's really important, especially for some kids, and I'll explain more. ¿Puedes levantarse su mano? ¿Entiendes qué dice? Not, okay, solamente uno. So only one person out of all of the decision makers understood what I said, and that was in Spanish. That's a phrase that younger kids would understand, including my children. Imagine you're a Duluth School District employee, and a student who's in the Spanish immersion program is now in their home school. They are not up to grade level in English because they do not start learning English until their third grade year. It will take multiple years to get that student up to grade level in English, depending upon the grade level. In Minnesota, 89 schools offer Spanish at different grade levels. Only 3 school districts offer it at more than one elementary school: Minneapolis, Hopkins, and Northfield. And this is of 2024. The difference is that none of these in Minneapolis, Hopkins, or Northfield are complete Spanish immersion programs. Northfield, which offers at more than one elementary school, is at 50% English, 50% Spanish. And I'm going to explain that. What that means is, during a school day, 50% of their instruction is in English, 50% of their instruction is in Spanish. Currently, in Duluth, up until third grade, it's 100% in Spanish. There is no English. Once they get to third grade, they only learn in social studies, and now they've added a little bit English, but I don't fully understand how much English they get, and that's it, all the way up through 5th grade. And it's not until they enter middle school, depending upon what program, that they get more English. And I'm not going to dive into the issues with that, but I just want to explain that. That's a huge thing with regards to what you're putting these parents and children into. Hopkins increases, they start at kindergarten at 90% Spanish, 10% English, and then they go 80%, 20%, and up to 50%. In Green Bay and Appleton, what Mr. Magnus is familiar with, they do also they also increase in English until third grade at 50-50, but they don't leave that English behind, which is what the current Spanish model does. Therefore, students have a better knowledge of English as they leave the program. This Duluth Spanish immersion program does not. Therefore, the split and the choice that you're making parents make, either to leave the program, go to Myers-Wilkins or Lowell, depending upon where they're at, is an impossible decision for these kids, and it's going to hurt them. There's not the resources, even at Lowell currently, that can provide for all the students' needs in the program, let alone in schools where other people don't necessarily know Spanish. And the pronunciation, I can tell you my pronunciation is not nearly what it needs to be, and I took it in college. And I'm going to quick sum up. And currently, Lowell Elementary School can handle the current numbers. And the teachers, the last thing, that the students, the teachers currently help the other teachers with the students. So when it's split, they won't be able to. Thank you very much for your time. Please consider the resolutions.
Thank you, Catherine. We now invite Emma and Elizabeth Cummings forward. Are we doing this again? Yeah. Ladies, why don't you come and sit here right over there? And that's easier, a little bit more friendly, little chair. And then Superintendent Magus will help you with the microphone. Thank you,
Hello,
ladies.
my name is Elizabeth, and I'm here I'm in 4th grade, and some of the students at Lowell
You're doing great. Keep going.
Some of the students in my class were crying once they heard about the split. I am losing my best friend. Hello, my name is Emma. I'm in the 2nd grade Spanish immersion program. I'm gonna lose one of my best friends and a lot of my friends because of the split.
Do you have anything else you'd like to share, ladies?
No.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Special thank you to Emma and Elizabeth and their bravery. Last today, we have Catherine Kettle. Please come forward.
Good evening, members of the school board. My name is Catherine Cadle, and I'm a junior at Duluth East High School. And I'm here today to speak to you about our media center. Some of you may recognize me. I was here last April speaking about this exact same topic when I heard that budget cuts were coming to our school. Now, of course, last year when I came here to speak in front of you, I was met with overwhelming reassurance from school board members, and they told me that they understood my concern and knew how much this program meant to us students at East. Well, I'm here again, and I'm speaking to you once more on the importance of our media center. Let me be clear. If the goal of the school board is to prepare students for a successful life after high school, taking away the media center will do everything but help you achieve it. I want you all to consider just how much limiting library access would affect students at East. This decision would distance students from books and resources, and it would provide inconsistency in our school week and taking away the personal connection that students have now formed with the media center. Our media specialist has provided an amazing space in the library, something like I have never seen before in my time at East. Kids want to be there, and having students enjoy being in a space of learning is vital for future success. Now, her presence as a full-time staff member at our school has truly changed learning, and you've heard from my other peers here tonight just how much it's affected us. So I'm here once again to urge you all to fight for us at Duluth East, fight for our future. And I ask you all to look at the sign above your heads, and what we're asking you to do tonight is to provide for our learning, every student, every day, in the Media Center, provide for our resources and our learning. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Catherine, and that concludes our comment for this month. We appreciate you all, and thank you for coming.